Startup ecosystem, what the idea is that you have to learn how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely. And once you learn how to do that, then you can bring in all the stakeholders and you can get into programs that'll help you and train you on how to build it. But that first step is you have to design a business model that is desirable.
When I initially moved back to Pensacola, I had a meeting with Lloyd. Lloyd invited me for breakfast and I was telling him, man, I still have an idea for the entertainment industry. This is what I wanted to do. He was like, all right, I got Startup on the Blocks. So I need you to start coming to Startup on the Blocks and get a little more information on how to work through the tech ecosystem and take your idea and we'll get you where you need to go. My company is called The Know, is an app that is streamlining business for the entertainment industry. Yeah, so if you're a musician, what you would do is pretty much jump on the platform, you'll create a profile, but the way we created the profile is pretty much a cleaner way. So now if they want more information about you, you'll connect your social media platforms, your streaming platforms, and that way they can go directly to it. What we also have included is your calendar. So pretty much you can set your days, you can set your price for your days and automate your booking. So initially talking to Lloyd, my idea was all here, it was there, it was over here, it was over there. It was like, all right, Quinn, I get it. You got a lot that you want to do, but we need you to bring it in just a little bit and then work on your pitch, your story, and how you're going to bring it full circle to get people to understand what you're trying to create.
Most of the programs here wasn't inclusive. And so we said we'll focus on helping founders of color. We also start at the beginning of the thing, at the idea stage, whereas a lot of the programs you see here locally, they start after you're up and that's not very efficient unless if you don't have a lot of money, you can't recover from your mistakes. And the lean startup system, it actually helps you make mistakes faster before you spend a lot of money. You don't actually start building anything until you got customer buy-in.
There was a need for small businesses to bring brand awareness to their business. I see there's a lot of makers and bakers that they're making all of these goodies and these products, but they can't market it, they can't sell it at the same time, and there needs to be kind of like that middleman, that middle person to help bring economic growth to some of the small businesses in Pensacola. So Taste of Pensacola, I came up with that idea during the pandemic when I saw things at that time that Amazon couldn't fulfill. They didn't even have those products, but the local people in the community, they did. And so there was a ton of people coming out saying, hey, I make masks. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. All the local people here that are just as talented that can actually make those products. And so I wanted to kind of showcase who they were. So with Taste of Pensacola, our income streams, we have several of them. We have the corporate America, we do corporate gifting, just regular consumers, different Pensacola natives that don't live here that want to purchase our boxes, like a taste of weddings, distribution. So we also do bulk sales. So for a private airline, if they want some local snacks and goodies on their passenger flights, they will come to Taste of Pensacola and we will source their vendors here locally. And we'll give a small business owner an opportunity to have reoccurring monthly sales. I've always had a really big vision for Taste of Pensacola. I knew that it could go beyond just local. I know that maybe other communities could possibly use the same platform that I'm trying to build. And I always have these big visions, but I never know how to even get there. Where do I start? I know it's more than, there's a lot of technical things behind it. I know there's a lot of research, but that connection, I never had it until, thankfully, I met and was introduced to Startups on the Blocks and was able to just learn more about how to grow it in terms of data. Things I just never thought about, framework, words like traction. There's a lot of things that I just did not know about and language that I need to know in order to get funding for my business. There's just a lot that I didn't know.
I would go to the stores and look online. They didn't have a wide variety of natural hair products about 8 years ago. And the ones that they did have, the ingredients, it would say that they were all natural. And when I would research the ingredients, a lot of the ingredients were not natural. I make everything, my shampoo, conditioner, I have an oil that I make, and I have 2 different separate butters. Like I had some people who were completely bald and grew their hair. It's about giving women their confidence back in their hair. I have this salon and then I have a second salon, and I have my products in about 5 beauty supply stores. So I need a manufacturer to keep up with the demand at this point. Startup on the Blocks has helped my business grow. Send me to different people. I'm able to do different pitch competitions to apply for grants in the community for small businesses. Lloyd's a really good person to connect with. He has a lot of resources here in the community that can help small businesses grow. If you have a product out there and you're trying to go big time, he's the person that you would want to meet with.
So it's really important to have some type of support because 9 times out of 10, most founders start out on their own. And to have somebody that has an idea of how the ecosystem works and is able to tap into other resources and bring back to the community, and that pretty much has encountered some of the roadblocks or going through the same roadblocks that we're currently going through and understands where you're at, your culture and how you respond to things, is a big help because you don't really have too many people that have access to what we have access to here in the community. And a lot of people believe that you have to leave and go to bigger cities to do the things that we're doing here. But I mean, it's one thing to have exposure, but you have to actually know it's here in the community in order to take advantage of the resources. So I get approached and I talk to friends all the time that wants to either start an idea or hear that I'm actually doing the app and wants to know more information about how are you doing it or what's the process, what's the path. I'm like, man, we have somebody here, Startup on the Blocks, Lloyd Richard. And Lloyd is here, he's a great resource to the community and to founders that's trying to learn the ecosystem. So join Startup on the Blocks.
Welcome to Startup on the Blocks. Glad to have everybody here. Ash and Randy, if you go ahead and turn your cameras on, we'll get you both on stage here. How you all doing today?
Not too bad, so are you? Yeah, doing good.
Good. So you're all out there hustling and making it happen, huh?
We're trying our best.
Yeah. So we're definitely excited to have you on so you could share both your stories and so they're very interesting. And definitely got to dig a little deeper and all that stuff. And so we want you all definitely feel open to share. And then folks in the audience, just feel free to pop in anytime and ask questions. We'll start real quickly here and just kind of let you both introduce yourself briefly.
You want to go ahead, Randy?
Sure. My name is Randy. I'm the Director of Environmental Services at, my apologies, a little cough here. PURIVA EVS. We're a local EVS and commercial cleaning company. A little bit of background about me. Before this, I had a decade experience in the technology field, a software engineer. And over the years, I've dabbled into entrepreneurship. Had a good run as a CTO, learned a lot, and applying some of the things I learned from there in this endeavor. I guess I consider myself a Pensacola local, been here for 3 years, looking forward to growing things here.
Fantastic.
So I'm Ash, operational manager for PURIVA EVS. So a little bit of background about me. I used to be a professional athlete, track and field, shot put, went to University of Georgia, did financial planning there, graduated, then went pro for a while, traveling the world, 35 countries so far. And I've been in Pensacola since 2021 November, so we consider ourselves as Pensacola locals. Me and Randy obviously each other for a couple of years because we knew each other since we were like 14. Well, I was 14, and we reconnected back in Pensacola.
So how did you both end up in Pensacola? Because I was looking at the background. It said you all were from Jamaica.
Yes, so we are from Jamaica. So we went to high school together. We both did sports together. Same coach. Coach coached us up. We got full scholarships to come overseas to do school and sports. And, we've just been connecting for a long time, me and Randy, and we just decided, okay, cool. We always work well together during sports. We were used to do sports, so we decided, okay, cool. We're both entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah.
Pensacola was an opportunity. After COVID, there was a lot of need for cleaning, housekeeping, all this stuff, hotel sanitization, So we decided, okay, Pensacola is the best spot in Florida right now for us as newbies. To feel comfortable and cheap. It was cheaper than most cities in Florida.
Hey,
so
we're gonna look at it.
It was a great start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fantastic. So I'll give a little shout out to our sponsors here, and we can tell folks a little bit about startup founder best practices, where we do every Thursday night. We're here since August of 2020, August 13th. So yeah, so if you can imagine, we missed one event in the last 5.5 years. So we're here for founders. That's what we want to help everybody understand. So if you got a question about your startup, or you want to get connected to some resources, and just learning about the best practices, that's what we're here for. So these are some of our partners, and so I definitely want to give a shout out for them. So when you get hooked up with us, we make sure you're aware of our partners and what they offer, like the Blackson Technology Foundation. Have you all familiar with Blackson Technology?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So yeah, they, I think their mission sort of aligns with ours. We help startup founders, and we did some startup stuff for them with about 200 of their members all over the world. And they also get you connected with training programs to get you into tech and help you find jobs in tech. So that's pretty neat. This logo right here is for Startup Science, and that's a fantastic resource. The guy who created that had been through 12 exits, successful exits, totaling several $1 billion. How you like to sound that, Randy?
Sounds really good.
Yeah, so everything he learned from going from the idea of vision to exit, he put in that program, and he's a really neat guy. Not a college graduate or anything, but he knows how to keep it simple and moving forward. And it's literally straightforward. His program is like more for helping you understand the phase you're in and what you should do in that phase. So like when you think about your company, your startup, what phase are you in? What should you be doing? And what's the next phase you're going to evolve into in the next one? And just making sure you know what to do, whatever phase you're in. Because a lot of times, if you don't understand the phase you're in and what you should do or not do, you end up doing things maybe for a later phase when you shouldn't be doing them for a later phase. And so that's getting all that right in your mind, getting that clarity on that. It definitely makes the road a lot smoother. Now, Coda, we partnered with them because they, and kind of the way you have to think about Coda is like all your briefings, the spreadsheets, your documents, it's all in just one document. So, and imagine that you can connect to Salesforce and pull that data in there and into one document, or you can connect to your finance stuff, pull it in there, and so you don't have to be switching from one thing to the other. But it's already got all the AI stuff built in, and they got brought by Grammarly last year. Oh. And so, yeah, but anyway, so it's more like like whatever your app is you're using or building, you can pull the data in from that into the documents and stuff like that. So it's a really neat platform, and it's totally AI enabled. You can prompt your documents and all that good stuff and do all your workflows. So when you leverage that, you can literally run your whole back office on it, and you get 6 months free of that as a startup. And Make Startups, they offer a training program. PitchBob is another AI tool, and they have a lot of resources other than the agent that helps you generate all your initial documentation. And they have freebies, software freebies like 5,000 Azure, or all kinds of good freebies that you have. So we're partnering with all of those, and our core platform is just Lean Stack here, and that's the platform where you learn how to design and pitch a scalable business model. You actually have the tools in there to actually stress test your idea to find out if it's desirable, viable, and feasible, and then also have the pitch, how you pitch it, clearly and concisely. I'm on the board with Black Innovation Leaders of Florida. And so that's all about getting folks into technology here in the state of Florida. And then the Black Innovation Alliance. Imagine that there is organization has members like the Kakura Institute, but it's like about 200 of them. They all help Black founders.
Wow.
So did you know that many resources out there?
I had no idea.
No,
Yeah. Yeah, and Goody Nation is it's a kind of accountability thing. Joy runs that, and we had the opportunity to participate in that with our workforce program, and definitely learned a lot from them in there. So, and these are some of our sponsors to put the money up to kind of help us do what we're doing, and also some more partners as well. And so we have a lot of support, but we're always looking for more as well. And so these are the training things I mentioned, a couple of them already. We're winding down our free access to Patent Hacks, and that way you can get, but you can still sign up for that. You get a year's access to the platform. I'll show you. And that's what this is all about here. You can. We're going to give out the scholarships away before the end of the month, and that's where you can actually pull a patent application together, pull a trademark application together. But if you want to get access to the Learning Center, you'll have access to that for a year. And so, yeah, so that's what that's all about. Okay. But yeah, so startup founder best practices, literally what I learn out there in the startup world. Every Thursday night, there's events going on, in-person events, and so we launched in COVID, so we went virtual, but we figured we can get more people that's not able to attend in person. At least they can have a place they can come in online and take a look at. But the key thing that I found, you as a founder, you want to have clarity. All these things are spinning in your head, and you want to find that clarity. And so that's where our lean stack helps you understand what milestone you're at and what's the next one. So you kind of, where you are. And so, and that's what's kind of wrong. Part of what's wrong with the startup world, the founders get out there and they don't know what to do when. And so, but if you follow the approach for building a startup, you always can know where you are and know where you're headed, and that's kind of the neat thing. So I hope that helps you kind of understand what the deal is. So the reason why you want to get all framed up here, because the ecosystem's out there, but when you apply for a pitch competition, apply for a program that gives you money, you have to fill out an application, and that's your pitch. And so, if you can't explain your business model clearly and concisely, then you're in trouble. So when we met a couple of weeks ago at CoLab, believe it or not, you guys actually did a better pitch than most of the people I've seen since I've been on the committee. So, congratulations on that. Yeah. Yeah, so definitely congratulations. So I'm gonna do a little experiment here. I created a podcast about your company, and so let's see how accurate it is, and from you guys. But it's kind of curious to ask. When I was generating a lot of the stuff, it kept focusing on you being world champion, because it was so excited about the AI was so excited about it. I had to literally go to another thing to get it to stop talking about how great you were. I said, no matter how I prompted it kept kind of go back. So I was able to get something where it kind of focused on your company a little bit. And my graphics guy edited it. So let's see how good a job he did here.
Okay.
One of the most traditional, hands-on industries you can think of, and just completely rebuilding it from the ground up with a tech-forward, systems-first mindset. No, really, take a second. What pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably a mop and a bucket, right? Maybe you think of it as a low-wage, high-turnover kind of job. It's an industry we all depend on, but let's be honest, we rarely think about it, unless, of course, something goes wrong. And that's really the heart of the problem, isn't it? When you're a business, what you expect is pretty simple: reliability, professionalism, consistency. But the common reality in this super fragmented market, well, it's often the total opposite. You get inconsistent service, you get frustrating no-shows, and a complete lack of accountability. It's this huge, frustrating gap between what you need and what you actually get. Okay, so this is where our focus today, PURIVA EVS, and EVS stands for Environmental Services, steps onto the scene. They are deliberately setting themselves up to be the antidote to all that chaos. See, they don't even think of themselves as a cleaning company. No, they see themselves as an operations business. And this right here really breaks down that operational mindset perfectly. Everything they do is certified. Every single staff member is trained on documented, written down procedures. Quality isn't just something you hope for, it's something you measure. And the technology, well, it's not just some fancy add-on, it is the backbone that actually enforces all that discipline. Now, to really appreciate what they're building, we need to understand just how messy the problem is. So let's take a closer look at the industry they're trying to fundamentally change. You can see the core issue right here. The whole market is incredibly fragmented. It's just dominated by all these small, informal operators. And what does that lead to? Well, it naturally leads to massive inconsistency and unreliability, especially when you're trying to service a larger professional building or venue. And all those big picture market problems, they translate directly into some very real, very painful headaches for customers. I'm talking missed cleanings, a different person showing up every single week, and maybe the most critical point, no proof of work. You're basically just left hoping the job was done right, with no real process and absolutely no one to hold accountable. So after painting that picture of chaos, let's flip the script and see how PURIVA EVS actually builds its solution. Because they're not just offering a better service, they're offering a completely different system. They actually call it an operating system for clean. And I love this quote because it's their stated goal. And it is such a perfect analogy. You know exactly what you're going to get at any Chick-fil-A, right? It's because of their ironclad, replicable training and discipline. That's the level of predictable, trusted quality Purify is building for facility services. And you know, this isn't just some vague mission statement. They literally have a playbook for it. It's a clear, methodical formula. You certify, you document, you train, you measure, and then you enforce it all with technology. You see how each step builds on the last? It's all designed to create a reliable, repeatable result every single time. To give you a super concrete example of their process, they use principles like surface hierarchy. Now, the crucial thing to understand is this isn't just about wiping down a counter. This is a scientific principle that comes from infection control to actively prevent spreading germs. We're talking professional-grade knowledge put into everyday practice. I mean, when you put it side by side, the contrast is just stark. The old way relies on cheap labor, informal, wing-it processes, and just assuming the work got done. The PURIVA way? It invests in professional, higher-paid staff, which, by the way, leads to better retention and real expertise. It uses documented procedures with audits, and it provides actual technological verification that the work was completed. It's a fundamentally different value proposition. Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but the big question is, does it actually work? Well, this company has moved way beyond the idea phase and is now getting some serious real-world validation. So check this out. They started up in 2022 and have already survived that critical 2-year mark where so many small businesses just fizzle out. But more importantly, they were brought into a major stadium where they completely outperformed the existing vendor and earned a direct extended contract for the entire season. That is a massive vote of confidence. And that contract isn't just for show. It translated into real, significant revenue. We're talking $27,000 in a single month from that stadium work alone. This proves that their high-standard model can attract high-value clients and deliver results that absolutely justify the investment. So this shows you where their model is really hitting a nerve, in places where reliability is just non-negotiable. We're talking large event venues like that stadium, as well as big commercial and government facilities. They're being super strategic about where their process provides the most value. So what's next for them? Well, this isn't a story about explosive, chaotic growth. It's about building a trusted brand through a very deliberate and methodical strategy. This right here, this is their mantra: standards before growth, systems before scale. They are absolutely laser focused on building a rock solid foundation first, making sure that every single new client gets that same replicable, high quality experience. You know, their approach to the healthcare market is the perfect example of this philosophy in action. They know it's a huge, lucrative target, but they are intentionally waiting. They absolutely refuse to enter that high stakes environment until every single certification is in place and their operational readiness is perfect. That shows some incredible discipline. So, let's redefine them one last time, shall we? PURIVA EVS is not just a cleaning company. It's a process-driven operations business. And their real product? It isn't a clean floor. It's trust and reliability, delivered through documented standards and enforced by technology. And that really leaves us with a final thought. This model of applying a rigorous tech-enabled operating system to a fragmented traditional industry, it's powerful. And it kind of makes you wonder, what other simple industry out there is just waiting for its operating system?
Okay, guys, y'all got a lot to live up to there.
Can do it. We can do it.
Yeah, did it capture you all pretty good?
Yeah.
Did I miss some places, but overall, yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, the best thing about anything is figuring out how to explain stuff clearly and concisely so people get it. Yeah, and so, but yeah, I use Notebook LM to kind of pull that information in and to kind of move forward. So, and I'll share that stuff with you all as well. Yeah, but if you want to figure out how to pitch clearly and concisely, you know, that you can use that free tool to kind of move forward with that, because that's what makes the difference in getting the help you need, and also the customers as well.
That's perfect. It's very impressive.
Yeah. So you both got different backgrounds, and I kind of want to understand your journey and how you all ended up in the same startup. So if you can give me an idea, you told us a little bit about your high school classmates, and but I guess you just talk a little bit about your career path. I guess each one of you all.
You want me to go first, or you want to go, Randy?
You go ahead, Ash.
All right. So career path. So I said I went to University of Georgia on full scholarship. Competed there for a while. Did pretty good. Went professional for a while, traveled the world. COVID happened. I guess everybody can say COVID messed up a lot of things, right? I was living in Europe for a little bit with my ex-wife, and they're competing and stuff. And I realized that the weather over there was really bad. During the winter, is like you don't see the sun for like probably once a month. I was like,
wow. Which part of Europe were you in?
Lithuania, about Poland. I was like,
okay, yeah.
I was like, I gotta get somewhere where I can see the sun, no matter what it is. So
yeah.
I started reaching out to people.
You need to put your camera up a little bit because it's cutting.
Sorry. Yeah, so I reached out to a couple of folks. My older brother lives Fort Walton. He runs a business over there as well. And I started reaching out to some people, and you know what? I just want to get out of this place. As soon as COVID ends, I just want to be somewhere it's warm. I can see the sun. All the stuff. So I just want to,
Yeah.
And that happened. I got an opportunity to come over here and train a little bit and help my brother with some stuff and. Start with that, and then reach out to Randy, like, hey, can you build a software where you can get all the stuff together and all the information in one place where we pay people and all the stuff, and it was cheaper versus like what's the word, paying for a subscription. It's a one-time thing. All right. So Randy developed this software where you can keep track of all the stuff, and I said to him, you know what, you should come visit Pensacola. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna visit Pensacola. He was in North Carolina and he came to visit Pensacola. I'm like, if you visit Pensacola, you're not gonna want to leave. I promise you. Yeah. So he came. I think he came in May, right? In May.
I came like
May 2022.
I moved here in May 2022, but I started visiting here in November, December.
Yeah, never
Okay.
December. Never December still warm compared to North Carolina. So you saw the beaches and stuff, and you know what, man? Like we have been entrepreneur mindset since we were in high school. Like in high school, I used to buy stuff and sell stuff to students in classrooms. I can sew, so I used to sew their pants and stuff. I used to do a lot of stuff just to make some extra cash, right? Randy used to do the same thing when he was North Carolina. So we're both of an entrepreneur mindset, leadership mindset and all this stuff. So I'm like, you know what? Why not move to Pensacola? And then you start looking for a house in Pensacola because you like the weather and everything. And you know what? Let's just try to start a company where there's a need, there's an issue and a need for a solution, right? And after COVID, there's a lot of need for like health stuff, and we didn't really know where we're gonna be directed. But we started looking around. We started trying out stuff like housekeeping and all this stuff, and we did the short-term rental, cleaning, and all this stuff. And now we're doing EVS and commercial cleaning because we have decided, okay, this is the only way to be doing in the cleaning business.
Yes. All right. So, you have any questions for Ash?
Go right ahead.
Okay. All right. So, yes, a little bit of background on how we started out together, loop back in a couple of times. So, my career started off, my professional career started off in Nashville, a software engineer in the healthcare field.
Okay.
Then I moved to work with a county and state contractor for like trucks. And then from there, worked with a company that did communication for prisons. And then from there, did a company that did online shopping, marketing, etc. So, and I had a 2-year stint as a CTO of a startup that was doing a lot of work for chefs. Running the whole back office for chefs, etc. And with the COVID kind of brought us together. So during some downtime, he reached out to me about like his needs to like solve some of his problems. I'm tired of doing these things manually and all that stuff. I'm like, well, that's right up my alley.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he was, so sometimes when you're a software engineer, when you have enough experience, you learn to move fast, make a simple solution, do big things. And so he's right. I did make that software for him to like track the hours, print directly to the checks because he had the check stubs, print them out, etc. Before that, we worked together when I had a reselling business on eBay. I was making $20,000 a month buying pallets and selling them on eBay. I loved it. And at the time, before there was like Facebook Marketplace, people would sell their laptops for so cheap. So I was like, I'd sell it double the price and I'll sell it on eBay. So he'd actually help me look for some of the laptops and tablets of people selling at UGA. Because kids get gifts and all that stuff. So that was the first time we worked together working on something. And coming here, we both like spent a lot of times every weekend actually reevaluating the business when we started. And we'd always talk about what are the pain points, what are things that's really hard for other people to replicate, how can we move the business in the direction where it doesn't need us? Because eventually we do want to have the business be like a franchise, just from advice from other people. And by franchise model, meaning you want to build your business in such a way that somebody can purchase it from you and have a working system. So that over the years, we've been trying to, one, like I said, find a need, because you can have the best idea ever, but if you have no customers, what do you have? A hobby.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then from there, play to our strengths. We have high standards, and we're very system oriented, high goal, reliable. So over the years, based on feedback, we just narrowed the business down to where it is right now. So that's a little bit about how we got into business and where we are.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's so, and your role is more of the technical stuff, and then Ash is more the operation stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I met you all, it is pretty interesting that guys with your background, in this particular business, but based on what I'm hearing and seeing, you're all these principles that you all learn? Like, did you like it? Like, as for example, did you learn all the principles in the military and all the all this discipline, but whether from sports or whatever? And same thing for you, Randy. Where did you learn this discipline of doing stuff like you are doing?
Sports, 100% sports. Next background too. When we just started off, we were like nothing compared to our peers around the world, right? Our coach back then, instilled in us the utmost for the highest. That's our motto there. So it's like there's a lot of times we want to give up. Trust me.
Yes.
Okay.
So we used to start after school at 2:30. We used to get home around like 9:30 at night, just training hard just to become as good as we want to, because the coach gave us the vision, and we just believe in it. And then I got good to the point where I was like number 6 in the world. I was a junior in high school. I was recruited to like 20 different schools here on a full scholarship. The University of Florida, University of Miami, University of Georgia, all those top schools, right? So it was that good.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say sports instill that in us, and teamwork. Never to give up, because some days are good, some days are bad. It's have to stick to the goal, stick to the principle of stuff, and you make it true. And I think that's the main. I think that's the main reason. Obviously, we have some determination that's in us before, but sports definitely tune that up, and I definitely say sports.
Okay. What about you, Randy?
I would say it would be a mixture of sports, earlier failures, and mentorship. Because like sports definitely shows you how to put in the work long term over time, how to essentially know that somebody's in front of you, but if you do the right things, you will catch up and be where you need to be. Failures in the past, when you recognize I was so close, so now I know that I don't give up, because the win is so close. A lot of times when you feel like giving up is when you should actually dig deeper.
Oh yeah.
And then mentorship, because like a lot of our mentors, they may be 50, 60, and they share their stories about life, and having them continuously telling you like, hey, you're still young, you still can do it, don't give up, don't be afraid, don't give in to fear. So knowing that somebody who has been there, done that, even if they didn't make it, they'll still share their regrets and tell you, hey, if I could do it again, I would do XYZ, cherish your years and stuff like that. So all those motivate us to keep going.
Yeah, so that was one of the things that kept coming up, is that you both are coachable, and so but I guess that learning how to be coachable, I guess that's from the sports too, I guess, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but yeah. So So you all leverage mentors quite a bit, it sounds like.
Yes.
Okay. And so how or do you all leverage? Do you also leverage AI in any way?
Very, very much so. Very much so. We use it on a daily basis, I would say. Even if it not necessarily answers your question 100%, but like it's like 99% of the time, like very accurate.
Okay.
But some of the things we reach out to for is like, let's say we're gonna reach out to somebody about a particular issue that we haven't talked on before, might get feedback on how to make a message come across, right?
Okay.
We may even like dump a couple emails or a couple plans and etc., and have it evaluate, and then have another AI evaluate that. So we use it a lot of times to like help us like evaluate things, plan for the future, really, because sometimes you might be there as a person and you think you just say, oh, I have this, I have that, etc. But when you have like an AI assistant that has all your emails and has a long 3-year list of things you had, it'll remind you of things that you even forgot about.
Right.
So that helps us be more rounded, to be honest. It helps a lot.
Okay.
And also simple stuff like punctuation and grammar as well.
Yeah.
Those professionals sometimes forget.
Research
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're so you're actually leveraging that to know how to engage with customers, know how to engage with your coaches and stuff like that. So do you? This is a lot of times when you're a startup, you get, you know, you ask three different people or mentors the same thing. They all tell
Yes.
you the answer based on their background,
Yeah.
and so how do you all handle that?
If I go first, so I've learned over the years that even if somebody's dead wrong, like there is truth in even the wrongness of stuff.
Yeah.
So what you have to filter through is what gives you the least inertia. What is the least resistance thing towards your nature? Because like some people, they burn a lot of hours. Some
Mhm.
people, they try a lot of things, and
Yeah.
some people, they really think about things.
Yeah.
And you got to go with what is attuned naturally with your strength.
Yeah.
So I take a lot of input from different individuals, and I might lean on a different mentor for different things. So my mentor
Yeah.
that is more of a thinker, I will go to them when I have a new idea.
Okay.
Yeah, and a mentor who is more of a who wants to see stuff, move and change, and they're very adaptable. I bring that to them. So I just play on the strengths of different mentors and based on
Gotcha.
where I'm in the problem I'm trying to solve.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Ash?
Mine's pretty simple. It's commonality. Like you see, what's consistent in what
Yeah.
they're saying, right? Not us humans. We're not 100% correct. We're never
Yeah.
gonna be on the right page. People when they mentor into, they're mentoring from their past experience as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Some of them they mentor in past experience. You cannot use their experience to judge your experience, right? So you got to
Gotcha.
put that into perspective and think about your life and what you have in front of you,
Yeah.
different from what they did. So they say a wise man learn from his mistake, and a wise man learn from other people's mistake. All right.
Yeah. That's exactly right. And
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have a dad around, know that, for me and Randy, he's always like telling us stuff that he has done in the past, like
Yeah.
always failed, and we'll look at it, and he's 65 right now, and you can see the biggest some of his regrets coming true, and it makes it harder because okay, cool, we got to literally let's keep on getting on this thing because this man is over here reminding us we're still young.
Yeah.
A lot of things in front of us, and what we should prioritize and what we should do. So it's just like realities, and also to AI sometimes is tossing AI. What do you think about this? And give me some references and some real life examples and where I can find.
Yeah.
And you go look at, you know what? Okay, some people have the same issue too. There's so
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah. So like I think of what I see a lot in the startup world. People have different expertise, like you all said, but they give you advice, but in some cases they're giving you advice that's not good for the stage you're in for your
Yes.
startup, and so you have to be cognizant of that. And so the and so how do you know what kind of help to ask for, based on, the stage your company is? How do you, so how do you know what to ask for and when to ask for what, I guess?
One of the things I've learned early on is for your mentors, they have limited time. So you have that worthwhile. So the first thing I do is I spend time to research and make sure I'm actually asking the right questions.
Okay.
Use their time efficiently, because sometimes if you ask too much of a broad question, they might just give you an answer that's that's very general. So taking time to really think through the problem I have, and then think about the things that's really bugging me, and efficiently say that is the best thing to do in all
Okay.
situations. Yeah.
I think
So what-
on Randy's point, we try to fix it on our own, trying to come together and try to analyze the situation and see, we can solve it on our own. And if we get a point where we realize, okay, we're not sure, we're kind of unsure, we try to go to a mentor to get some mentorship advice, right? Because most of the time they have some experience in something that we are facing, issue we're facing. So we go to them, ask them, what do you think? You know, I see what they say, and then we tell them based on what our conclusion is, and I will see if it match up.
Yeah. So one thing I've noticed about you all is that you definitely are open to, you know, you are coachable. But did you learn that from sports, Ash? You know, like, what's the analogy to sports and your different coaches you have in sports?
Oh yeah, 100%. The coachable thing, you know, is, you know, it's definitely start from sports. Because the thing is, you want to get to a point, right? You're gonna need people that have expertise and the knowledge to get to that point.
Yeah.
One of our goals was to make it to the States and go to school here and all the stuff. And our coach like told us that, listen, man, like I can get y'all to the point where y'all can get a scholarship overseas, and that's it that's you from there, right? So, you know, being coachable is good because it allows you to like just do what you need to do while the coach is telling you, like, I'm trying to picture it. It's like you want to get to a destination, right?
Yeah.
The coach is driving, you're in the seat, just like telling him what to do, or you know what I'm saying? So that's not really a great analogy, but it definitely helps because it helps you to build on what you have already, right? So I'm trying to give you a good example.
I can jump in if you want.
Jump in, Randy.
Okay, so some of the things with being coachable is like I'll tell the story and then I'll give the link.
Okay.
When we were doing specific sports we were doing was shot put discus, and my coach was like, no more discus, only shot put, and he was like, I'm going to change the technique. When he changed my technique and changed how I lifted, I started performing lower the next week.
Okay.
And I complained about it, and he was like, I need you to trust me that what we're doing right now is the best for the future.
Okay.
And within 6 months, I was the one on top of the podium, and so was Ash. So sometimes your mentors are going to tell you, hold on, slow down. I need you to actually, so even though like you're looking at your money or you're looking at what you got going on, like sometimes your mentor will actually tell you to like take a different point of view, work on certain things to strengthen your stuff like that, like really actually get the foundation of your business together. And you have to learn to trust your mentor, especially if somebody who's been on the same road you've been on, that they are trying to tell you to build your fundamentals so you have something you're able to build upon. So that's the biggest analogy I can have with sports, building your fundamentals. And sometimes building your fundamentals feels annoying. Like somebody says, I want you to read these books. I want you to read these bylaws. I want you to get these certifications. I want you to go to these meetings. And there's other things you could do with your time as well. And also being coachable means that when somebody asks you to do something, they can trust you to know that it's important to you enough where you will do it. You won't just wing it or lie to them.
That's
also feedback as well. You can take feedback because feedback, trust me, feedback is one of the biggest thing for you to get better, grow as a person. You can ask feedbacks and look at it. I'm like, okay, cool, that makes sense. I move
so have you both figured out how to get the AI to give you really good feedback instead of just all positive feedback?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. Randy is definitely good at it. Yes, Randy has a tech background for a while, but I have actually gotten good at it to the point where, you know, I can like prep it to like give me the information that I need from it, because AI, it's not perfect, right? So you need to learn how to prep it to get what you need from it. So we've gotten to that point where, you know, we can really use it to help us a lot of stuff.
I think I'm going to start sharing some prompts each week, just so people can kind of get it where it's actually your thinking partner and you still controlling everything, not just doing what it says, because it's going to tell you what you want to hear if you don't know how to prompt it right. So that's a good thing. But so for me, I actually struggle because I have, you know, founders come to me all the time, and they want to raise money, but they don't want to take time to learn how to pitch their idea clearly and concisely. I'm saying, you know, like, so one example is probably early December, the person wants to raise money really fast, and they're excited about their idea, and and believe it or not, I still don't know what problem it's actually solving.
Got you.
Yeah, and then so I said, well, you need to, learn how to pitch your business model, and now to design a scalable business model. So it's been over a month. Then we had lunch together, and they still haven't did anything with the advice I gave them. And they asked me, how long will it take if I do your way, or if I keep leveraging my friends or whatever my way? But the bottom line is, you have to know how to pitch it correctly, so people can understand it, because they don't understand how they're going to get their money back. They're going to string you along forever, and so I just, some people don't really get that certain things come before other things.
Indeed.
Yeah, but yeah, that's I struggle with that all the time. But the minute you know how to say what an investor want to hear, but like, you shouldn't even be most cases you shouldn't even be talking to investors. You should be talking to people in the ecosystem that got resources that can help you get to the next point. But everybody want to just skip everything and get the money, and they're not even ready for the money. Yeah. But yeah, that's a really challenge. So what's going to be you all's approach of trying to figure out this hospital market?
Well, the thing is, clients don't buy effort; they buy consistency.
Okay.
Right? So they want to see a vendor come in and be consistent, sanitizing and ensuring that safety and everything is consistent. Because once you stop being consistent, that's where people start start having be hesitant about you and etc. Right? So we're using AI and all that stuff to help us as well. Randy can go more on this, because this is Randy's field.
Okay.
Yeah. So moving on, like, one of the things that pitched on was definitely moving in the hospital space. So apart from being certified, we're actively setting up relationships with leaders in the healthcare field. Definitely getting whatever crumbs they want to give us, we'll take. Because sometimes you don't get everything in one sitting, but people will give you a little hint. That's how we grow, So what we're looking for is to keep getting these little hints on how we stand out, because we know how to do the cleaning, we know how to do etc. But like, when you're approaching a client, sometimes you don't want to have the wrong assumption about what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they want somebody who will answer the phone call or respond to the emails.
Yeah.
Some people, all they care about is pricing.
Yeah.
Some people, they just want you to be reliable and show up on time. Some people, they want you to have the same people there all the time. So we are, kind of getting a little feel about what some of the individuals want. But at the same time, we were approached by, some individuals who want to mentor us into the space. So we're being patient with communication. We're not trying to jump the gun. So we need a couple weeks to hear back a little bit from a couple of folks. And if not, then there's another set of folks that we plan to talk on, and we have a deadline of when we actually start putting ourselves in front of people and start partnering.
Yeah. And so it's just like you I guess start building trust and building these relationships, and your mentors and coaches, they have the connections, to get you, in the space. So it's just like you just have to make sure you're ready, and maybe start small instead of big. And a little part of the clinic, a little part of the hospital, and just until you get the hang of it and kind of move forward. But so you said something when you were applying for collab that you didn't want to, just start building software. You wanted to, and that's you have to can you, Randy, being that you are a developer,
Yes.
can you explain that to the audience? What's your approach on that?
Okay, certainly. So, when I started out as a junior developer, mid-level developer, senior developer, I love coding.
Yeah.
I moved into more managerial or got to be a CTO.
Yeah.
You learn that people really care about you solving problems efficiently.
Yeah.
And quickly. And you also start seeing things from the user point of view, like things, just like you said, like even the pitch.
Yeah.
It has to make sense to people. All business is about people.
Yeah.
So why would I spend 5 months to try to make a software like another competitor, maintain that and all that? I have to quantify that. How much is my business losing from me taking my attention and time to build this thing? I'll pay these guys $150 a month and I'll be all right.
Yeah.
So there's somewhere where there's a little bit of pride because I could do it, but then do I want the tech debt and managing another business where now I'm going to slow down the business I'm building because of literally just pride or
and it's just like people in the startup world, what's that's like. You do everything. You could even do everything manually first and use commercial off the shelf software, until you get to the point where you think something is not doing something that you really need.
Yeah. And Randy, I would say that growth without system multiply problems, right?
Yes.
So Randy always say that. So something that we're passionate about, because when you get bigger, you don't want to have all these issues coming up. You want to
and I'm glad you mentioned that because that's what like if you start trying to grow and expand and don't got stuff systematized, you just create more chaos. Definitely don't want that. So a lot of the prompting I've been doing lately, it talks about clarity a lot, and you want to make sure before you try to take the next step or do something that ahead of time, you have to make sure you're clear and you got the answers to the stuff you need before you just keep trying to move forward.
Yes.
Yeah. But so you definitely want to be able to leverage the AI to kind of get as much clarity as possible. So it sounds like this is what I'll kind of say, and I say this kind of often. So when I worked for the research lab, Air Force Research Lab, we had a method that we used for developing capability, and so the projects that we worked on, it had never been done before, and so we just followed the step-by-step process that was there, the research methodology. But in a startup, there is a methodology, there is a step-by-step process, but most people don't want to take time to learn the process.
Yeah.
If you follow the process, it doesn't matter what your idea is, you will find out something that actually will work and that you can make money with. But if you're not willing to follow the process, you're dead in the water.
And at the end of the day, you're trying to build something that's sustainable and not disposable. So you got to follow the process so it can grow.
Yeah. So the Lean Stack program that we use, it actually is, I don't know too many applications out there that coaches you through the process, and keeps you connected to the process. And that's why we use that, because, like everything is on a 90-day cycle. So you do some sprints or some experiments during that 90-day cycle, and it's kind of relating to like the quarterly reports and stuff like that. But at least you're following this this startup, methodology, so you kind of make sure you stay on track. Yeah. Yeah. And so what happens is people go and do these programs, these accelerated programs, but they don't know what to do in between the programs that they're in. And so the lean stack sort of keeps you handy. So do you all have a vision of is there indication so far of some an application you may have to build in the future related to what you're doing?
Yes, we may have to. But there's also something in the works for another line of business that we're working on as well.
Okay.
Ash helping me with feedback, and I'm putting these AI agents to work. Working all the time. My laptop sounds like a vacuum cleaner at this point.
Like, do you want to share some of the tools that you use as a developer?
Yeah. So to keep track of my tickets,
AI tools and stuff like
AI
that.
tools, yeah. So
agents and stuff like that.
Yeah. So certainly, at this point, I'm using the anti-gravity IDE by Google.
Okay, that's new. That's fairly new. So you gotta help us compare that to something else you may have used, and what makes it so much better.
It works for me a little bit more because you have Cursor and the other ones, Open Code, etc. They're a bit heavy-handed in how they do stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
And I beg them to please don't do this before I look at this. Because I think they're really good for new projects and things that are very standard. But then once you start building, you have your coding standards, etc. So anti-gravity gives me more control, in my opinion, to help the AI really know when to come to me, etc.
Okay.
And, certain things it's okay for you to do, and then over time I help it build out a coding standard in a README document, so it knows how to keep up with things, etc. I don't necessarily use multiple agents to do things. I just use one. I just write prompts. I give it good prompts, give it good indication. This is what I'm trying to do. This way to do this and stuff like that. And little iterations over time. So my experience has been that I guide it. Sometimes they might ask you to do something like, hey, there are certain files that have this name, and it has this pattern or an issue with it, and it will take a stand and try to do them one by one, but it's 200 files. And I would ask it, do you think you could write a script that could do this? And then it writes a script.
Gotcha.
So could you remember the question one more time, make sure I'm not too far?
Yeah, so basically you mentioned agents several times. So but you so do you create agents? What tools do you use to create the agents, I guess, or whatever? I guess that's kind of
Yeah. So I don't. So the IDE itself has some default that it has. There's Gemini 3.0.
Yeah.
High, low, and then there's Gemini Flash.
Yeah.
So my process is that if I'm thinking of a whole thought process, I go to use Cloud Opus because it's good at planning and thinking thoroughly through stuff, and I have it document something. But that's expensive. So then after that, then I start using Flash to do some of the more heavy lifting. And when I'm pretty certain I'm at a good point, then I switch to the regular Gemini 3.0. Working on stuff.
Yeah. But I think it's important, that especially non-developers, definitely learn some of the basic concepts.
Very important. Yes.
So the going back to the clarity thing again. So the way one of the things the AI is telling me a lot lately, and which I kind of already knew, but I never thought about how significant this was. Always have, like when you're trying to understand stuff, you do discovery to kind of understand the space. And then when you understand it, that's when you ask the large language model to execute something.
Yes.
And so what it's telling me now is never combine both at the same time.
Yes, and that's why I like what I have set up. Yes.
Yeah. And so I don't know if people understand that it's really important. And so that's why for beginners, I would tell them, if you have never used ChatGPT or Gemini before, think of something you want to do, and then just ask it if like, so for like the example with the startup stuff, we're teaching the lean canvas and how to stress test it. And so when I was using AI for a lot of stuff, but then this article said that you can use it to 100x your business. And I thought to myself, I wonder if they know about the lean canvas. This was back in 2003. And I said, so I just went to it and I said, are you familiar with the lean canvas? And then it spit out, what about the lean canvas? And now, then the next thing I did was I said, I gave it a short business idea and I said, please create a lean canvas for it. You see what I'm saying? And,
Yes.
and then it did it. Then I said, I gave it a more detailed idea about the business. And then I said, and I gave it the prompt template for the pitch thing we were doing that night. And told a little bit more about the business and had it create the pitch for the business. Wow. And so we had 10 people with Blacks in Technology pitching that night, and $3,000 was up for grabs. We're going to get the top three $1,000 each. And so I shared the information I had learned that morning with all 10 of the founders and gave them the sample prompt. And 3 of them actually reached out to me and, asked a few more questions and actually used that approach. And those 3 people won $1,000 that night from, because it's just because you don't know how to say your stuff clearly in the way it needs to be said. But if you got the actual template, the AI understands, how to do it based on that particular framework.
Yeah. It's like having your professors for all your different classes in like one little application.
Yeah.
You can ask question, prompt them to, hey, give you where to go find information as well. So
yeah. So yeah, we looks like we're at time. If anybody's got any questions they want to ask before we get the last takeaways here, but I'm definitely excited about you guys and this, communicating this idea about being coachable, because a lot of folks don't want, to be coachable. I don't understand how to be coachable, and I never thought about why is that. And then so you both got the sports background, and you have a coach for this, a coach for that. Yes. And I even remember when I was in high school playing basketball, and I was on the JV team, and it was time to go up to varsity. So I went to the varsity coach, the year before. I said, well, coach, what do you think it takes for me to be a better ball player? And the coach just looked at me and he said, Rashard, you too satisfied with being average. That changed my whole life.
Yeah.
You see, yeah. And so, it's just like that shows the power of a coach.
Yes. And
being coachable. And so I think that's my takeaway for tonight. If you guys want to give your own takeaway.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if you want to get somewhere, there's other people that have more experience than you. Coaching, being able to be coached is very important because it helps to eliminate a lot of stress on your end as well. You have a goal in mind, you want to get to it. Other people can help you get to it because they have the expertise. They might not be doing it, or might not did it before, or weren't good at it. Like for example, look back at the Patriots. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady gave credit to success to his coach, Bill Belichick, right?
Yeah.
He helped him to get better, as a quarterback and blah, blah, blah. And Tom Brady got to the point where Tom Brady can do things on his own.
Yeah.
Right? So being able to be coached is very important because you can see things. Your coach can see things that you can't see, and he can make a plan for you that, eventually will help you to be successful. So being able to be coached is super important, especially nowadays.
Great, great.
And so one of the things I think you were alluding to, Mr. Rashad, was that sometimes, you know, when people have an idea, they want to be like, grab it, I want to hide it from everybody, this, that, and the third. But with that kind of mindset and attitude that you have it all, you know, you don't know the things you don't know.
Right.
And that's what your coach is for. Your coach doesn't only have experience. If you have a mentor that's been around you long enough, they know you probably better than you know yourself.
Yes.
So they're giving you feedback and they're challenging you all the time. So learn how to take feedback. Learn the difference between when somebody is like ragging on you or when somebody is really trying to get the best out of you.
Yes.
And those things, just being coachable, it takes time. You know, maybe if you're somebody who thinks that they're a loner, maybe you're somebody who feels like people do you wrong sometimes. It takes a little time to get that mindset and that trust, you know, that you need, you know, to work with somebody to coach you up and build you up. But it is definitely worth it. It will save you a lot of time. It will save you a lot of effort. And also, eventually, when you run your own company, you're going to have to coach people as well.
Yeah.
The best way to learn how to coach is to be coached. So it's a whole process anyways. Yeah.
All right. Yes, that's fantastic. And yeah, with the lean stack and the guy who created that's called Ash too. So Ash Barry. Yeah, but anyway, he created this approach where, you know, you have the training for the founders and you have the whole process, but then you have the coaches that are only responsible for leading you through the process. Now, if you know, if you need technical advice or, you know, from different industries, that's mentors that do that, but the coach is just trying to get you through the process. And so like when founders come to me, I don't care what your idea is. I just want to shepherd you through the process because I know if you follow the process, you're going to find the right idea, the right thing. But if you're not willing to follow the process, you're not going to get it. But the irony is, and Ash says this as well, sometimes you have to go through the process 3 or 4 times before you actually find the right idea to move forward. But at least you know the process.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't know what the outcome will be, but you know the process. Yeah. All righty, guys. I really appreciate you both in coming on such short notice here. But anything, you know, the Core Institute can do to kind of help you all move forward. And Randy, I'll be glad to share a lot of my approaches to doing the AI stuff. So one of the things that I did since just based on the working with the founders was all the process you have to go through in the training. So I decided to create a prompt that step by step goes through the whole process. It simulates the whole business. And so you can kind of, so if you don't know anything about what you need to do, the AI leads you actually through it.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, and then so it does the in addition to doing the business model design and showing you how to pitch, it also, before it even starts on that, it helps you understand the industry and all the pain points in the industry and all the different revenue models for the industry. And then it uses those top 3 revenue approach for the industry, combine that into one business model, and then it separates the business models out, one for each customer segment.
Wow.
And then it evaluates each customer segment because you can't, when you're starting, you got to focus on one of the customer segments to get started. So you don't have the money to try to market all those. So it helps you figure out which one to focus on first. But, you know, and then the next thing you have, so that you don't have to go out and talk to anybody, that part of it. But once you get ready, the second part is demand validation. And so you got to prove that there is a need for what you want to build. And so there's a process for doing that. And it's literally fantastic and simpler than what most people, and it leverages AI as well. And then the training doesn't include marketing, but once I found out that when you do demand validation, you're doing the customer forces and stories and the jobs to be done stories, and the hiring and firing criteria. And Randy, that's what you use to design your solution.
Yeah.
And then from that, you can design your sales pitch. But once I found out that customer forces stories and the job to be done and hiring and firing criteria related directly to the marketing plan, I just had to go ahead and do the marketing stuff too.
Wow.
And so in deep research mode,
deep research.
What I always do, I run it in ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, the chat, and Perplexity, but and then compare the analysis, how well they did the analysis. But Claude wins every time.
It's really efficient.
Yeah. It may take about an hour to get through all those 27 steps. Wow. But you with the information that goes out there and dig up, you would have never found out all that information, on your own.
I've never used a deep research mode before. I probably should give it a shot.
Yeah. And one of our founders actually came up with a prompting method that really changed everything, and so in my prompts, I leaked her name in there because it's, because she was the one that helped us come up with it. Yeah. So if you already got prompts that you use, you just tell ChatGPT or Gemini to please update my prompts to her method.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it'll update it, to that method, and you get so much insights from, so like our interview here, it'll generate so many insights from that. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's just like it's crazy. So, but that's what we make that available to the founders to get in our Founders Insight program. And so just so to save time. Yeah, but we appreciate you all sharing you all's stuff, and we look forward to working with you all in the future. Reach out anytime you need any help or more connections. But it seems like y'all well connected already here. But if you think
more connections, always good, and always good.
But if you want to understand the methodology for the Lean Stack and the startup sign, we're glad to help you there. Yeah, and of course it's free to have access to them. So you all welcome to if y'all need it. All righty, we'll see you guys. Y'all take care. Thank you everybody for chiming in, and we all in this together. So let's work together and keep moving forward.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.